Hello. I just wanted to talk about something real quick because I noticed a lot of people in my life having this issue, including myself. I've just been noticing like a lot of irritable and angry kind of energy recently, just around. I've noticed it a lot, and I just kind of wanted to make a video about it because I felt called to do that. So here we are. I was just kind of thinking about how I feel like oftentimes people, when they are angry or like triggered, I guess, in just any kind of way, instead of settling themselves down and knowing how to regulate themselves and then think rationally beyond like just the scope of their emotion, they tend to react so strongly in a way that gives this situation, person, or just any challenge in life so much power as opposed to giving themselves power. And I feel like this is something that just needs to be addressed, and I'm sure there's so many videos on this, but this is my take on it. So basically, how do we get triggered? What happened? Why am I so triggered? Okay. Basically, this is so different for everybody, but more often than not, it comes from childhood, right? So, something or some things happened, and it develops a trauma response within the person. So for some people, this might look like overly reacting or avoiding or whatever. Like just some kind of response. Or it could also be that you grew up in an environment or someone grew up in an environment where it was very hostile. So it was super normalized to react in an angry manner. That didn't mean that you didn't care. It didn't mean that you were a bad person. It just, that was normal. It was normal to react with anger. Things happened. We developed these triggers, and instead of recognizing what our triggers are, it's more the case that things will happen in our lives and we will get triggered and we will just get upset and be upset at that person or at the situation rather than kind of doing some inner work, which never fails to help. So do that inner work. Literally do it. No, actually, do it. Just do it. Trust. Instead of doing that inner work, they kind of point a finger of blame towards the situation, right? Which is literally the least helpful thing in the world, and I'll explain why. When you are pointing a finger at a situation or a person, you're giving them all of that power, because to point a finger and to be like, you are the reason that I can't get into any good relationships. You are the reason that my life is unhappy and I'm not successful. You're the reason that blah, 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 okay? No, we don't do that because that limits growth. You're not growing by blaming other people. You need to be introspective. People are responsible for their actions. And also, obviously, this entire rant kind of is so subjective because it definitely does depend on how deep the trauma is and how severe the situation was. So take what resonates and what you feel like makes sense. I feel like this message definitely applies to like almost everything. I actually feel like it applies to everything, but I just wanted to disclaimer that moment right there because not every situation is the same. And some people need to be held responsible and they need to be blamed for proper justice in court. But I'm just talking about emotionally because you don't ever want to keep some resentment held up. It's not good for you. It's actually like it'll make you kind of ugly. It's not the move. So point is that instead of pointing a finger at someone and saying that you're the reason for all of X, Y, and Z and all this bad stuff in my life, you look at yourself. What are you doing that is not letting you get to where you need to be? And more often than not, it's because you are holding some kind of resentment and you're not letting go. If you're keeping all this in and you can't let go, how do you expect to move on to the next phase in your life? You can't. Like, it's like you are literally, the metaphor watering a dead plant, yes, it applies to like another whatever circumstance, but it can also apply to this because it's like you're literally investing, you're pouring energy out into someone or something that A, is not benefiting you, and B, it's not like you're making anything out of it. Like, it's like you are literally wasting your time. Honestly, either this person does not care or the situation is not going to change because there's no productive solution towards it, or they are like not going to listen. They're also just not a good person. Like, it doesn't make sense to keep sending such negative energy out towards a situation or a person and be so upset about it and expecting something to change. That you can't rely on other external circumstances to change. You have to rely on yourself. When you change inside, everything outside changes. And this, I will stand by this till the deathbed, okay? If you change on the inside, everything outside will change. Focus on here. Don't focus on this person sucks. It's not gonna work. It never has worked, and it won't ever work. So let it go. I need to emphasize, any energy that you put out is the energy that you should expect to receive. If you're putting out negative energy, if you're out to get someone because they did you wrong, if you're resenting someone, if you're wishing them bad luck, you are literally just reflecting that back onto you. Like, think of like the world as kind of a mirror. When you do good, you get good. When you do bad, you get bad. Like, there's actually no way of avoiding it. And you will see, like, start stealing and see how much you lose. Just see what happens when you give out bad energy. Try it. Don't try it. Just take my word for it. Don't waste your time. Kind of went over how we shouldn't be blaming people, because actually it does us way more harm than it does any good in the situation. Like, it is their fault, so I'm gonna hand that ball over to them instead of taking control over my own life. That is so temporary, and it's not sustainable. Think about what is sustainable. Inner growth. How do we get rid of this blame? How do we stop blaming people? And the answer is forgiveness. You're like, bro, I'm hella not forgiving anybody. Like, I'm not gonna forgive that person. Like, you think I'm gonna forgive them? Yes, you are. That's the only way. Unfortunately, that is literally the only way. I have been there. I have been like, I don't care if this person falls off the planet Earth. Like, I hate them. But that way of life was not working out for me very well. And so I had to change the narrative a little bit and stop hating people. Because when you forgive somebody, we're literally releasing them. It's like a weight being released off your shoulders, and that makes life so much easier. Like, don't you want your life to be easy? Don't you just want to let go and be free and not care about other people and what they're doing? Heaven on earth is just not caring about what anyone else thinks, recognizing that people are responsible for their actions and you are responsible for your reaction, and that's all you have to care about. Literally, it gives you so much power, and it makes you care a lot less about things that you can't control. You do not have to like this person, by the way. And honestly, I think sometimes it's better not to like somebody to save you from like going back or being influenced, whatever the circumstances. Like, sometimes just don't like them, but forgive them. Forgiveness, and everyone that is like super like meditative and wise will tell you this, like, forgive people. There's a reason why they say it. Like, who do you think is sitting here like, oh, I can't wait to forgive this person? No one's like that, okay? Maybe they are. I'm not like that. But it's so worth it in the end. So take my word for it, or don't, and see the consequences. Our energy and time is the most precious thing in this world, and knowing how to invest that is probably your biggest asset. So now I kind of want to tackle what the best method or methods are to be able to regulate yourself in a circumstance where you are triggered, or like multiple circumstances, if it happens throughout time or whatever, where you're being triggered and you find yourself like, oh, I literally am so triggered and I don't know what to do about this. Often triggers comes from something that you need to heal, okay? When you are triggered and it's really bothering you and you're not expected to react so sensitively to this thing, right? But you feel that way, and your feeling is valid, because what can you do about that? Like, that's how you feel, and you honor your feeling, right? Because that's how you are able to let go, by the way. So number one, when you're feeling triggered, is recognize the feeling in your body. Feel it. Like, how does it make your body feel? You can think about the thoughts that are coming up, but I wouldn't identify with your thoughts. Instead, I would kind of just observe them. I mean, I think sometimes it's okay to write down like how you truly feel, even if it is super negative. That's shadow work, and that will definitely help as well with what do you not like about yourself, and you'll find like why you don't like about yourself, and oftentimes it's thoughts implemented by other people and not actually how you feel about yourself. So that can definitely help. But in terms of honoring your feelings, I say this because it's something that you weren't able to do when you were a child, or when you needed to do it. You're taught to understand your feelings. If you weren't treated in a way that was able to help you honor your feelings and recognize these feelings and sit in them and cry and get angry, you're not gonna know how to do that in adulthood, which is an issue, because adults need to cry, they need to scream, they need to release emotion. It's energy that's pent up. It needs to be released so you can move on. That's pretty much how it works. So just allowing yourself to honor those emotions without fully identifying with them, because your thoughts are not you. They are literally just what you absorb. What you've been told, what you've seen in the media, they're not you. But your feelings are worth honoring and they're valid. Secondly, when you're triggered, this has to do a lot with your nervous system. What you see, what you're hearing, depending on your childhood or like what experiences you've had. When you're triggered, your nervous system, it's activating parts of your brain, such as like your amygdala, which is like, you know, for example, the fear area of your brain. It's activating that when maybe it shouldn't be, or maybe it shouldn't be activating it as much as it is. But it's doing that because your nervous system is dysregulated. The best way to help regulate your nervous system and reconnect with your body, your senses, and your feelings is by meditation. And I will literally advocate this till my deathbed. It is literally amazing. It is how you learn how to regulate yourself. Like, you're literally shifting your body from a state of like whatever it's in to calm. Like, you're learning how to regulate yourself through breathing, through focusing, and just like letting your feelings and emotions kind of pass. Meditating is definitely the way to go, and it will help you regulate your nervous system, and it's great. Also, just breathing exercises are good. Staying active, working out is awesome. Getting sleep and eating good foods. That's pretty much what everyone tells you. It's textbook. Also, what's really good for your mood regulation is make sure you're getting enough foods with L-tryptophan or tryptophan in it. Basically, tryptophan converts into serotonin in your brain, which is super important for like mood regulation and sleep. And you don't really get serotonin through things other than eating, so diet. Let go of blame, take your power back, and be empowered. Just honestly, like, think about where you're investing your energy towards, because that is literally what you'll be manifesting and what you'll be getting back. Literally, where are you pointing your energy towards? Why is it going to be some person that bother you that you're pointing your energy towards? Do they deserve your energy? No. Your energy is so precious. Like, literally so precious. They're so precious. You're so precious. Literally so precious and amazing and beautiful, and you deserve the absolute world. Like, nobody deserves more good in this world than you do. You deserve all of the good in the world and anything that will get you to where you want to be. Literally, I'm sorry, I'm gonna bring up death, by the way. Okay, so just by the way, listen, one day we're all going to die. We know it, but we don't really sit on that, okay? And when we're on the deathbed, are we gonna feel happy when we think about, oh yeah, I really got that person, I really ruined their life, I got back at them? No, that's so spiteful. It's nothing, there's nothing good about it. You're not gonna feel good. You're literally gonna be bitter and old. Don't do that to yourself. You deserve to be happy and old. Be smiling on the deathbed. Like, the way to get there is by feeling fulfilled. Invest your energy into things that make you feel so happy, because you deserve that. You deserve to be happy. Like, there is nobody in this world that deserves to be more happy than you do. You deserve it. Get yourself there. Do it for your inner child. Literally do it for her. Do it for him. Do it for them. Do it for that child. Anyway, I hope you guys got some valuable message from this, and I love you all so much, whoever is seeing this. Maybe because I'm gonna watch my own video when I need to hear it. Love you, and remember how beautiful and awesome and precious you are. You're literally a gem. Happy. Okay, bye.